denn auch die nächste Keynote verspricht spannend und interessant zu werden, wie natürlich alle, die wir hier heroben haben. Marketing auf Instagram, von Inspiration zur Handlung, lautet der Übertitel, und kommen tut die Keynote von jemandem, der es wirklich wissen muss. Sie ist Brand Development Lead bei Instagram und wir freuen uns, dass wir sie auf der Keynote Stage am 15 Seconds Festival gewinnen haben können. Ladies and Gentlemen, Nadine Neubauer.
Hallo. Hallo. Okay. Hallo, moin. Ich bin Nadine. Das ist eine verdammt große Bühne, wenn ich das mal sagen darf. Insofern freue ich mich sehr, hier zu sein. Clemens, lieben Dank für deine tolle Intro. Ich bin auch das erste Mal beim 15 Seconds Festival. Ich bin das erste in Graz. Und die nächsten 30 Minuten wird es um Instagram gehen. Ich werde auf Deutsch sprechen. Wenn jetzt niemand sagt und die Hand hebt und sagt, bitte gerne auf Englisch, dann mache ich das auch. German, English, anything? Okay, so there is strong orders for English. So I'm gonna switch to English now, as this is hopefully more convenient for you. As Clemens already said, I lead the brand development for Instagram in Central Europe. So I am the one that helps companies to understand how to leverage the power of Instagram for their marketing. And we're going to bring a little bit together what we just heard from the speakers before me. So thinking about designing for graph, thinking about how to have good customer experiences, bringing that to Instagram. I liked a lot of things that I already heard when I listened to my speakers. So this is what we're going to talk about. But I always love to start with me on Instagram. This is actually my profile, @Neubauer. This is my last name. If you like, you can follow me. You will discover my latest Instagram story that I just did when I arrived at the venue here, showing you around how the venue looks like, also kind of some of the pictures from this large stage. But why am I showing you this? Because this account gives you a view into who I am on Instagram, right? So this is me visually on Instagram, and this is what I love, you know. You don't know me. We never have met each other before, but looking at my pictures and videos on Instagram, you can get an idea of who I am and what I'm passionate about, right? So I love traveling. I love to be outdoors. I love to go to the sea, to the beaches. And this is what you just can see having a look at my pictures and videos. And we're going to talk today about 3 big trends, I guess, that you're all aware of when we talk about the new platforms rising, and especially Instagram. First trend is the one from desktop to mobile, right? And I guess you're all aware of this. You all have these mobile phones in your buckets, in your hands, and while you're listening to me, you're playing around with it. You may be taking pictures or writing messages or wherever you do. There are more mobile phones on the world than toothbrushes, actually, so I have no idea if this is a good thing or not, but this is actually true. The second trend that we see is the trend from search to discovery. Especially with the trend of mobile, when we look into our apps to see what's happening in the world and to get our information, we don't really search anymore, but we get discovered through a feed-based environment. We browse through the feeds of Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and other platforms to see what's going on and to feed our passions and our desire for new information. And the last, and I guess most important trend, is the one from text to visual explanation. So talking visually, communicating visually, this is what Instagram is all about, right? This is the most important asset, and it's so strong, and we all do. We don't write text anymore, but we send pictures, we send videos, we use emoticons, we use stickers, we use even masks to show who we are, and we communicate, and when we message to our friends, we use them. I just want to do a little test, and I hope this is going to work. And the clicker is not working at the moment. Now it's gone. So why is visual communication so powerful, right? because it's very effective and it's super fast. And you all would say, like, yeah, I know this, Nadine, I just not. But we actually do a little test. And this also proves how aware you are and how much you're listening to me. Because we only need 13 milliseconds to identify a picture. It's closer or faster than this. So I'm gonna show you a picture, 30 milliseconds, and afterwards you're gonna tell me what you've just seen, right? Okay. What did you see? Come on. A bus? Right. What color had the bus? Blue? Did I hear blue? Okay. And the roof? What was the roof? What kind of color had the roof? White, right. And was the bus indoors or outdoors? Outdoors, yes, thank you. So this is what you recognize just after seeing this picture for 13 milliseconds, right? And you didn't even only recognize what's on the picture itself, but maybe it also transported to you a feeling, right? An emotion. Like this emotion of surfing, of being outdoors, of being in the nature, maybe also like experience and freedom. This is what visual communication can do, and this is where Instagram is right in the center of it. And it's even so strong that, you know, this emoticon was word of the year 2 years ago. It wasn't a word anymore. It was actually emoticon that was voted as the word of the year. So visual communication like moves to all aspects of our life today. And this is what Instagram is all about. As Kevin, our founder, once said, Instagram is a visual pulse on the world. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to service our community. And this is what Instagram can also do for you, giving you a visual pulse on the world. And it's about two things. It's about expressing who you are, who I am, who brands are on Instagram, and you've just seen my pictures. And it's about connecting to the community, so to other people that share the same passions. Let's talk a little bit about expression, right? We've come a long way. Instagram is more than 7 years old now. And as you remember, back in the days, we started as a simple photo app where you could take a photo, put a filter on it, and then share it immediately. Since then, a lot of things happened. We brought video on the platform, and video really skyrocketed it. And we brought with video even more things, more expression tools to Instagram. So can you see here hyperlapsing, people using hyperlapse to express themselves, brands use hyperlapse to express themselves, and also having fun with it. But also boomeranging around, right? I hope a lot of you do that too, having fun with boomerang, playing around with little things. You can see here some examples of just how playful and how funny that is. So there's more expression tools than just a normal video, right? And we also brought stories to the platform, right? A few months ago, we launched this new format, just 24 hours. It's ephemeral. You can include as much pictures and videos and boomerangs into a story as you want. You can have fun with it. You can even go live in a story if you like, right? So if you feel like that, just do it. Go live just from this festival and show your community, your followers, what you actually do here, right? And success is tremendous, right? 200 million people use stories every day, connecting in a new way with their followers and their community. And we brought a lot of things to stories since we launched a new format. So we brought boomerangs. You can mention other people now. You can include stickers. You can use masks. You can use geolocations. And you can even include links to link offsite and maybe show what else is to your business or to yourself on a website or on a mobile website, right? But Instagram is more than just us expressing ourselves visually and using boomerang, hyperlapse, and all the tools. It's about the community. It's about us coming together and discovering great things, sharing our passions on travel, on food, on sports, and bringing that together. And I always like to show a little video that really shows perfectly how the community lives and breathes Instagram every day, right? So enjoy. I don't need no TV, I don't need no news. All I need is a bump and beat, the bump away my blues. So that's the community. This is all of you, I hope, right? Is everyone on Instagram here? Hands up. Let me see that. Perfect. Love it. Great. So you are one of these 700 million monthly active people that come to Instagram. And 400 of them come each and every day to Instagram, discover what happens on the platform. And the cool thing is 80% of these users are outside of the US. So that's you, that's me, that's everybody outside of the US. So Instagram was international right from the first start. And we have a lot of active advertisers already on the platform, which is great. And we have a lot of people already using stories, which is even greater. And these people, they not just only come together on the platform, but they also come together in Insta-meets. And I don't know if some of you maybe already have been to an Insta-meet, like meeting actually in real life, discovering something new, doing a little trip, and sharing then videos and photos on it. This is a good chance to meet other Instagrammers and share your passion around it. And I always love to share some community examples, right? To just give you an idea how people in this community actually look like. So this is Spielkind. It's actually Kerstin. It's a teacher out of Hanover in Germany. And what she does, she loves Instagram to just educate and play around with her son, right? And she uses little objects out of her daily life, like flowers or food, and she arranges them in photos and videos in a very playful way to give her son little stories that she can tell him, right? One opportunity on how to use Instagram. And then there's Katie Mailer out of the UK. She uses Instagram to give a window to the world and what she actually does for kids in Somalia and in Liberia, right? So also this is possible on Instagram. She shares what she does there, helping refugees, helping people who need help there, and use Instagram to generate awareness for that, right? Get more followers and help people to understand and discover what's happening in the world. But there's also more lightweight topics there. So if you think about football, sports is huge on Instagram. I bet half of the audience here follows sports accounts on Instagram. And this is just an example from Mario Götze, one of the German players. He uses Instagram to show his passion for sports and his daily moments and his highlights out of his football career. But then there's also the fun moments, right? So I don't know if you know Daily, and I have no idea how much of you are passionate about Star Wars. They actually took it a step further. So it's a Spanish couple. They escaped the Death Star. And what they do is they live their life, they share their everyday life in a trooper kind of way, right? So this is them, this is what they love, and this is their passion that they bring to Instagram. And this is also brands that bring their passion and tap into these passions on Instagram. So this is Beats by Dre. It's actually about headphones. And they tapped into this music passion, right? So a lot of people love to share their music passion. A lot of music stars are on the platform. And they tapped into this music passion on feed, on stories, with ads, to not just show their product, but to really show the music passion itself. And by that, really explaining and then selling their product. Okay, so let's talk about these passions, right? The community comes together on Instagram because of these passions, to share them and to connect with other people. First of all, the global community really comes together through passions. And it's passions for all different kind of things. It's obvious ones like music, sports, fashion, beauty, travel, that's my passion obviously, but also smaller things, right? So very detailed passions about car enthusiasts and stuff like that. And if you just look at some of the numbers behind me, we actually are always very interested in what the community thinks, right? How they use the platform, what they would love to get from us. And they actually say that a lot of people really discover and made their decisions for buying something new or discovering something new after they have seen something on Instagram. So 54% said, well, they get updates from their favorite team player when they look at Instagram related to sports. Almost 60% said their purchase decision when it comes to a new car is influenced by Instagram, right? Because they have maybe discovered a new model, or they have seen a great ad or a great organic post from a brand they like, and that really inspired them and made their decision. So passions are big, and brands and companies can tap into that and use and leverage that. Just give you an idea of how that could look like. There's 3 brands behind me that already use Instagram in a very good and thoughtful way. So GoPro, of course, taps into this passion of traveling, of extreme sports, having the GoPro all with you when you kind of do this cool stuff. But also, if you look at Adidas, right, they don't not just only show their products, but they show it in action, right? They try to tap into the sports passion and really addressing these sports enthusiasts on Instagram, trying to get them into the world of Adidas. Or if you look at Hilton hotels, right, they don't show their hotels, but they tap into this food passion and this food inspiration, showing all the great food that you can have in these locations where the Hilton hotels are actually located and placed. So just 3 examples on how to use these passion and tap into that. And we do actually a lot more, and this is kind of hot off the press, helping brands to even tap into more of these passions and helping them to provide a simplified way to discover and enhance exploration, right? So this is a product that will come end of this year to Europe. It's just launched in the US. And this is what we call shopping, right? So people love to discover new products and new stuff on Instagram. They always did. And then what they did before we launched anything, they write into comments and they actually direct message to brands and to companies, said like, hey guys, where I can actually buy that product? And if there's actually some influencers here in the room, they will know this feeling, right? So you have this great shirt, or you have a bag, or you just travel to this awesome place, and then you kind of also want to show, okay, who is that from? So what we're about to launch is a new organic and then paid product, which we call shopping. And if you look at this first photo on the left-hand side, you see this bag, and then you kind of browse over it, and you get more product information on the products that are tagged into the post. And if you click on this information, you get a detailed product view of this bag in that case. You get more information about price, material, stuff like that. And with one click more, you can actually buy it. So helping brands and people on Instagram to discover and explore even more in a new way, this is what we're going to do to help all of you to do that. All right. So for the last 5 minutes, let's talk a little bit about how we could actually make sure that we have the right creative strategy on Instagram to be successful, right? So we heard already a little bit about it from other speakers on stage before me. It's all about designing for the frame, right? And with frame, I actually mean that frame, right? So it's a vertical frame. It's not like this. Most of the people never turn their phones. They keep it like that. When they take pictures, when they take videos, when they browse through their feed, if you sit here and you maybe kind of check Facebook or Instagram while I'm speaking, you do it like this, but you don't do it like this. So let's talk a little bit about how we can design for the frame. There are 2 things that I want to point out here. The first one is visual first, so really tell your story in a visual way. And the second thing is mobile first, right? Really designing for the mobile frame. Okay, and I get a little countdown here, so I talk a little faster. Just have a few examples with me that showcase to you how this works. So this is actually Unilever out of Brazil, and they advertised a toothpaste. So not the most sexy product in the world, but what they did, they really took this kissing moment, the kissing day in Brazil, and they brought this to Instagram. and big photos, and then they brought it to out of home. And then this is another nice example about Sonic that I have to skip because the music is really killing me. They took it even one step further. They launched a product that is designed for Square. Okay. This is hard. One last sentence about stories, our new big thing for vertical video, designed for stories, designed for vertical video, to be able to capture the whole screen and enjoy that. Okay. Enjoy the nice examples, and with this, tell your stories. Thank you. You are really hard on timing. Oh my God.
We are very strict here.
And I guess I was the first one that actually felt it with the music.
Yeah, you were the first one to really
now
go in.
Now you see what happens when you just run over.
Yeah, you get run over by Manuel over there on the turntables.
Very smoothly, and then a little louder and a little louder. I got it. Okay.
But
sorry for that.
Fortunately, that leaves us a bit more time to go into Q&A, and I'm sure there's a couple of questions burning on people's minds. As ever, we have our faithful volunteers around with microphones for you.
Shoot right on me. I have to do one thing because this is so amazing. I have to take a picture. All right. So, any questions? I'm still around, so you can also grab me if you see me, if you want to have a conversation one-on-one on something. Yeah. There is a question.
Here
perfect.
Hello. Oh.
Hi.
Hi. The format you showed about the product on the picture where you were able to click on it and then the product showed. And
shopping.
Is that an ad format or will that be an organic format?
It will be organic first. So you as the advertiser or the brand will be able to kind of tag up to 5 products in one of these posts. But we will think about a paid solution when we kind of develop the product further.
And what kind of accounts will that be?
So for now it's US only, and for now it's only fashion e-com accounts in the US. But for the next step, if we bring that to EMEA, slightly at the end of this year, it will roll out to all of the accounts that are out there. So no matter what business you have, if you have an Instagram account, you would be able to use it.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
There is another question over there, right in the middle, just waiting to be mic'd up. Here we go.
Hello, thanks here for your talk. Where do you see Instagram in terms of augmented reality, VR, and other technologies which are coming to us in the next 5 years?
Very good questions. I'm not able to read the future yet. I'm sure these kind of things, as you know, Instagram is part of the Facebook overall company, and we do a lot in the fields of augmented reality and virtual reality, explore new options. So I'm sure these things will find their way on Instagram too. Maybe not for the next 6 to 10 months, but going more forward into the future for sure. But I have no idea how that will actually look like. I wouldn't even predict the future of like 6 months ahead.
So
you're still on?
what's in your mind? Where do you think the way is to go?
So for now, we still see an immense growth of the community. So we love to kind of connect more people on Instagram with their passions and help them express visually. And of course, at the moment, stories is the thing for us, like this new format and even more features that we bring to that format. So gonna explore more into stories going into the future and helping people explore more things, as we've just seen with shopping. That's like 2 of the things that we're currently thinking about.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Well, there's another question
There's another
right
one.
there.
Cool.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to ask if it's thought that for stories you will also have some statistics soon, because when you have a business account, obviously for posts you get statistics, but for stories it's kind of hard still. So is there anything in development?
Okay, so we should have a look into that, but because actually insights for stories for business accounts already rolled out for the organic experience, so you should be able to see insights for stories in an organic way. And if you do run ads in stories, which is possible since a few weeks, you should also be able to tap into insights for ads in stories. Maybe we can just have a quick look and see if we can find it for you. Should be there. It's already rolled out.
Perfect. There's another question right there.
Thank you very much for your input. I think one of your last slides was 1/3 stories viewed are from businesses. So I guess you're talking about the for-profit world. Do you have any figures about the non-profit world, meaning NGOs?
So we don't have any public figures here. So there's already a lot of NGOs using stories because you can kind of communicate in a new way also when you're an NGO showing what you do. But there's no kind of public information around it. But if you want, we can kind of take this offline and we can discuss on what kind of good examples we do see here in its space.
Okay, hope that answers that. While we hand the mic back to the next person, yeah.
Another question, should we take that?
Hi there.
Yeah, sure.
My question is,
Hi.
how does it come that I've never heard about the Insta Meets before?
I have no idea.
It's kind of like, I think in Austria
But we
they aren't that
can
common.
change that.
Yeah, please.
Of course. There's always new Insta Meets coming up, and the community kind of finds themselves. So we do, as Instagram Germany, Instagram Austria, we kind of encourage and foster these kind of events, but there's also smaller Insta Meets that's just kind of made by the community. So just we're gonna invite you to the next one if you like.
Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
That's what we're here for, opening doors in all directions. And there's another question right next.
I have one question on the concurrence. So what is your opinion on, like, it has been said that Instagram kind of cannibalized Snapchat with introducing the stories. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, so I would say there's two strong platforms that have strong communities with different use cases. And I wouldn't say that we cannibalize Snapchat. But of course, we launched a very successful format with stories that is partially kind of taken out of Snapchat stories too.
It wouldn't be 15 seconds if we wouldn't go in for the hard questions as well.
That's totally okay.
Another one from my side,
Yes.
come to that. You said that Instagram gives you an idea, even if it's somebody you haven't met before, gives you an idea of their passions, their
Yes.
inspirations. So how come that 95% of people are passionate about food and travel, while actually 95% of people are passionate in their real lives about sitting at home on their couch? Why doesn't that make it onto Instagram more?
That's a good question. I guess that speaks to the question of what kind of things and what kind of passions do you actually want to express on Instagram. Maybe it's not your passion about couching, because maybe you don't like to express that. But even now with stories, we see a lot of people like doing very normal things. So you could maybe share your couching passion on Instagram too, and take on stories and what you watch on TV or what you do on your couch or whatever.
Well, I'll definitely start a couching movement up on Instagram. Are there any
There's
more?
a hashtag for it, so you should use it.
Ah, sure. Are there any more questions concerning couching or other aspects?
All right, thank you.
Well, thank
Thanks,
you for
Clemens.
being here. Nadine Neubauer, thank you.